so till here we are fine. Okay, so what we can do today is we can in the same project, or if you want to um, it can be included in any project, but suppose currently we are working with UI, so API. So let us add a class here, and let us call this class as reporter, a reporter class, or okay. So we created this class reporter, and just let me check the namespace. I think this namespace we already had from API demo. Yeah, otherwise it will create some problem. So we are going to have this public static. Okay, so I want to have a static class for this, so that I don't have to create objects each and every time wherever I want to use. So that's why static class. Okay, before that, let us do one thing. We need to through this NuGet package manager, we have to install this extent report. Okay, so let us install for this both API demo and API test. You can install for all projects, but currently we require in these two. These are some, I think, we just created for other purpose, I guess. So just install this extent report. Why it is taking so much time? Okay. Generally, it does not take this much time. Okay, let it install. Okay, but we need this library. Okay, all right. So few things I think along with this extent report, it uses some other kind of like MongoDB, ASP.NET Trezor and all. Those I think we need to accept. Okay, so once we accept, it added all those which are required. So now it says successfully installed. So yeah, so we are done with this extent report. All right, now what we need to do. So we need to have, let us create some, in this class, so there are two ways. Either you can directly create a extend.config configuration file, and you can have like a configuration there to create a report. But that's not a best practice. So better to create that report using code and utilize the extent report library in an efficient way. So let's begin. Public static. The first thing is extent report. Okay, and name I can give extent report. Okay, and this package I need to import in my this in class. Okay, and okay, another thing I think what we need is public static extent HTML reporter, if I remember correctly. Reporter, okay. So this we need, and we also need a test of this extent report. So public static extent test, this we need, and this one we can say test case. Okay, so I think this will be fine, I guess. Yeah, so now let us create few methods. Public static void set up extent report. So in this method we'll set up like what will be the report name and title, theme, and different parts I think we can do. So in this one we need to pass few, means from where we call, means from the regression test we'll call these extent report, because there we need. So we need to pass report name. Okay, so this will pass from the regression test what we need, and string document title I can say, means the report, there are two things, document title and the report name we get. So we'll see what these two means. And one is the path. So I would say this is a dynamic type path. Okay, so all right. So already we created this HTML reporter uh, variable, and creating this new object of this HTML reporter and passing. So it requires path. Okay, so path of the from where you are executing the test. Okay, so that path will pass from the test from where we are executing our test. Okay, so to create your HTML report you need to pass the directory of the your uh, framework. Okay, then we need to set few things, HTML reporter dot config, okay, and dot theme. So yeah, this one, it says theme is there are different kind of theme we can set for this extent report. No, I don't want here. So there are one is standard and another one is dark mode. So whichever you prefer, I think you can. Why is it okay? So based on your preference, I think you can set. So two themes are available. I choose a standard one. You can, if you want, you can choose the dark background as well. Then we need to put the um, document title for this. Okay, so it goes under config and then document title. Okay, and we are passing this document title from here, from as a parameter, so we can set this. Same way thing, we need to set the config report name. Yeah, so report name we can set, and this one also we are passing. So all right, and then once we create this, we need to attach to the this HTML report or what we are configuring here. We need to attach. So I think I need one more variable. Yeah, I think okay. So how to attach this? So we need to use this extend report, and yeah, I think this object will. So let us create this one more variable, static extend reports extend, and we can attach with this extend dot attach report. Yeah, so here we need to attach this HTML report or whatever the configuration we set, and extend report we can set as extend. So this will set up our extend report. Okay, so as how we do as in code. Now we need to have the when we run the test. So there is a test concept context actually, which keep tracks of which test run is currently running. So I mean, I'm saying here, so there is a text context which remembers like currently which test method is running. So we need those name, because when we creating when report, so that test name is also required, like currently which test is running. So I was saying we need a test case, so test case name to pass to this class, and I can say create test method name, and here we need to pass the test name. So this test name will come from the test context variable from the MS test, which we will utilize in this regression test. From there we'll send this test name. Okay, and here test case extend reports dot do we have anything create test? Yeah, so we can pass this test name here. Okay, so that's done. What else we need? So once we created in regression test, what we do after the assert, we say like So based on this assertion, we need to log, right? So suppose this is pass or fail. Based on this, we need to log in the report. So after every assert, we need to log it like this is pass, this is pass, this is fail, something. So for that, we need to have one method which will log, uh, very similar to like log we create for the mm, something logger is there, right? So we log those uh, assertions, whatever we want to log. So similar to that, we need to log to the this report, uh, public static, and so with method name I can say log report, okay, or log to report something. And here we need a status, okay, so it is pass or fail based on we need to log, okay, so status and message, okay. So this using this test case I need to, so this test case provide multiple things like log, okay, so we can pass this to status and message what we send from my test, okay, and at the end we need to there is a concept called flush. So at the end of the execution, you need to flush all the status message, whatever, so that it goes and write to the HTML reporter what we created. Okay. So for that, we need to write another method, public static void and flush report. And extend report dot flush. So this is done. So what we did, we set up the report, create a test, log to the test, log to the report, and flush report. One more, I think we based on the status, I think we need one more method. So public static void. So I want to have test status. Okay, so I will utilize this test case and say like test case pass, and if the status is pass, so I can say like test is passed, okay, and else I'll say test case is failed. And once we write, we can here what we can do, we can create a screenshot method which capture screen using Selenium WebDriver. Call that method So whenever this test is failed, it will capture the screenshot, it will attach to the report. So if you use Selenium, so there we need to call here. All right, so I think we created setup report done, create test is done, log. So we will use this to, after every assert, we need to log, and then flush. Yeah, okay, all right. So I think this extend report as a code is done. We are not using extend.config file. So, okay. Now we have to go to this test and okay. So I was talking about one variable, okay, and that is test context. So this actually tracks like about the test case status, okay. So we need to have this variable, and so that day in the first, I think the last session, you were talking about before the test, after the test. So those things I think we will utilize here. So let us say I need to set up before running. I need to set up, right? So public static void. So set up, and here I need to pass this test context. Okay. So first thing, we need to get the directory. Okay. So using this test context, it also remembers, it has the information from which location you are running this test. So test run directory. Yeah. So gets the base directory for the test run under which deployed files and else files are stored. Okay. So we need this one. Okay. And now we need to use this reporter, because it's a static, so I don't need to create any object to access this. So now let us call this method setup extend report, and is require report name. Okay, so I would say API regression test. This is the report name, and I can copy document title. I can give like this, report. What else require? Path. So I can pass this, right? So that's we need to means what this setup method will do. Yeah. So I need to say here class initialize. What it does, the class initialize attribute before running any test. Okay. Uh, Before anything, when this class it starts running, it will go first run this method, this setup method, so that our, and it will run only at once at the beginning of the execution. Okay, so that for that we say class initialize. It will not run for the each and every test. It just whenever you want, you will, this class will be accessed, this regression test. First thing will, this setup will run. It will set up the your extent report. Okay. After this, we need to have which report is setup is done. After this, we need to have one mm, setup test, I can say. Okay. And here I can say reporter dot create test. Right. This method we created, and it requires test name. So the test name from where we can get text context dot test name. So get the name of the test method currently being executed. So whatever the name you have provided, like this verify list of users, those test name it captures and add to the report. Okay. And for this, we can say this is for the test initialize. So before in this regression test class file, before running any test which has this test method attribute, it will run this. Okay. So this only once of when this class is called, this test is executed. But this test initialize for before every test, this will run just to get the test name. Then we should have test cleanup. Okay, so for that, in test cleanup, what we want to do, so I can say void cleanup test. Okay, and in cleanup test, what okay, so test status. Using test context, current test outcome. Yeah, so what is the current test outcome we need to set here? So this, yeah, as I said, this test context has all the records about the test. Okay, so and the instant report has this status. mm, Using extent report. Okay. mm, Log, I can say log status. Okay, so based on this test status, we need to assign sorry, log status. Yeah, so here we can use a switch statement. Okay, so based on this test state, so this test status is for the text context from which from see, it already generated all the see. So this test status, what we get from the current, so suppose it is pass or failed, so based on that we can switch. But this status for the extent report. Okay, so this we are getting from the MS test. What is the status outcome of this execution for the particular test? And now we have to log it to the extent report. So based on this status report, we'll switch like it is pass, fail, and all. Okay. So for me, it already generated. It has all the pass, fail, all these things. Okay. So that we need to send to the extent report. Okay, so if it is failed, so what we need to log using this log status, I would say, yeah, status dot fail. Okay, and if it is failed, um, reporter dot, sorry, um, test status. Okay, and here it requires a status, so log status, and this as a, I think we need to convert the string to get the pass or fail. And I think we don't need all these things, so means we can keep it here, but mainly if it is failed, so anything I need to log it to the uh, status. But if you want to log for pass or every other thing, I think you can have, so just you can write based on your requirement. So I think this is done for the cleanup test. So at the end, what should have at the end of the test, one particular execution, what should I want to have? So those can be reported here. And at the end, yeah, so at the end, we need to clean up, flush this report. We created one method. So once your execution is done, you need to flush so that it goes and write your HTML report for you. Okay. So for that, let us create one method, cleanup, and reporter we have flush report. Yeah. So mm. So now we see we created a reporter class which have all the methods about setting up report and various things related to report what we need in report. Okay, now here we did so just like in Java we have test ng, so there before class, after class, before test, after test. Similar is class initialize, and okay, here we need to, okay, let me, I think I haven't provided the attribute here. Okay, so there is a test cleanup. Okay, we need to provide, and here we need to provide class cleanup. Okay, so class initialize, class cleanup, test initialize, test cleanup. So this much we need to set to uh, ready for the report. Now after each and every assert, so basically till here we are not doing anything, right? We are just asserting things like what happened. So I need to call this reporter dot log to report method, and it requires status. Okay, so status dot Shall I? I'm just thinking. Using this test. Status dot. If it is fail, so what I can say, the message you want to have in your report, that you can provide here. Page number does not match. Okay. Same thing I can have here. User first name doesn't match. Okay. So that's, so let us first run it and see what if it is running or not. Okay. Let us run this verify list of users. It's running maybe. Okay, so it is passed. Okay, so I think all this, whatever we done, it is working fine. Now I can go to this. See, so this is, so this is the report we get. Maybe let me open the index one. Yeah. Now, whatever you see here, these files, okay, so it is we are giving here. So that's why we are passing this. Okay, so directory name. So it, okay, let me run again and you will get to know. Okay. Okay, so now if we mouse over on this, it says from where I'm running this test. Okay, so API test results. So this is the deploy underscore my name and all, the date. It creates a folder and there it will go and write this HTML report. So that's we are passing this one while set up this uh, HTML report, extend report. We are passing this. So see, we are setting first path, what we get from that there. So it will go and log there, means in that create that HTML file there. Okay, then it will set the theme, document title, name, and then it will attach the report. Okay, so that's we are doing in this here. And yeah, it contains a lot of information. If you go want to see everything, it will be here. Create, what happens, it will create a folder for you. All right, and it has like various things it has. So it creates folders and then it creates the HTML report for you. So like this, it will be um, dashboard, one test, and oh, one thing I think I do not send this way, I guess, because it each and every time it's failing. So here it is passed, but in the extent report it failed, right? So okay, so user page will turn 2, but we are expecting 3. So let's see what happened. So your test will fail because this assert will fail here. Yeah, because this assert is failed. Now it will see the report, the results. Okay, so let's see what happens. Put your breakpoint. Okay, so let us 3 make it fail and run in debug mode. So basically our reporting is done. Only thing you need to set the based on your assert condition, what you not need to log into the um report. So here I can press F5. Okay, so it is failed. And if I say continue, it goes here to for the cleanup test. So my test outcome is failed. Okay, so based on test outcome, it goes here, and then status is fail. Is goes to the flush report. Yeah, so this is our assert expected. This is failed here. Let me open it. Why this status is wrong here? That's we need to correct. You see the problem, right? So it's not a problem, but only the setting of status. It is showing correct thing, but only the status is wrong displayed here. So that I think we can work it why it is based on. So that's like how we generate the extent report, or how we log the report, whatever. So in every step, I think a certain step you can have this.
Mhm.
So yeah, so that's how we